Howdy everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about my all-time favorite book, The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. Okay, so this is definitely one of my favorite books of all time because it is like a field guide for understanding and befriending your own mind. I've given out dozens of copies of this book over the years, and I use it in my yoga teacher trainings and meditation classes. It really is one of the best volumes I've found for distilling the wisdom from the Zen traditions and the yoga traditions in a really easy to understand way. Oprah even loved this book so much that she's had several Super Soul Sundays talking with Michael Singer. As I said, this book is a field guide to really understanding your mind and all the different voices that can show up in there. And if you don't know what I mean, right now, just check in. There's a little voice in your head that's either like, oh, I get what Daniel's talking about, or no, I don't know what he's talking about. There's no voice inside my head. And that is the voice inside your head right there. So often that voice is narrating our life and our experience. That narration is always happening in our mind. And we've been listening to it so long that most of us think that that voice is us. And in reality, that voice is a product of the mind. The voice can tell us a lot about what's going on inside though, whether that's narrating what's going on in the world that we're seeing or telling us something about our emotional state or our psychological state of being. So often that voice is just chatting and chatting and chatting, and we don't take the time to sit with it and really start to distinguish. Is this the voice of reaction? Is this the voice of reason? Is this the voice of my higher intuition? And having those distinctions can really help you be a more effective leader in your own life and an extremely effective leader when you're working with other people, especially in a hierarchy where many people are reporting to you. The truth is, the voice is always talking and everybody else has a voice too. So when you start to understand that when you're talking to someone, they're listening through this chitter chatter, you really begin to be able to navigate conversations in a really different way. One of the themes of this book is getting clear on where you're putting your attention. We tend to focus our attention on pain points, problems, the drama of our lives. Oftentimes, our happiness, our joy, our peace of mind, our contentment are right there in front of us, yet we're so focused in on the pain points that we forget that we have this awareness that can really be expansive and encompass all the different dimensions of us. When we focus on things we don't like or things we're afraid of, we tend to start to build systems into our life that help us either avoid those situations or suppress our own reactions to those situations. This tends to have an exponential effect on our life because we have to build more and more elaborate systems to avoid the pain or fear that we could actually just get underneath and come to understand in a deeper way and find resolutions that aren't so dramatic or reactive. Where this book really excels is that you don't have to know anything about Zen meditation, you don't have to read the Yoga Sutras or learn another language. Everything's in a really easy to understand English, and Michael Singer creates these visual metaphors that help you understand what's going on inside your mind. For example, he talks about personifying the voice inside your head and calling it your inner roommate. And if you start to visualize the chitter chatter in your head as coming from someone else, you kind of understand that it's actually a little crazy in there. Like, you wouldn't always take the advice of that neurotic friend who's just always going on and on and on and on and on about all their problems. Yet that's often what's going on inside of our mind, and having that picture helps me start to distinguish between the chitter chatter and the drama and what's actually the voice of me understanding and integrating my experiences to a better degree. It also defines concepts like love and happiness and non-resistance in ways that I'm able to put them into action in my life instead of just having these broad, vague concepts of what happiness is, or these broad, vague concepts of what love is. I tend to give this book to people moving through tough experiences in their life, and the feedback is that they generally love it because it's so easy to understand and start to put into practice. If you're interested in living a more fulfilling life, being a more effective leader, and really befriending your own mind, I highly recommend you read The Untethered Soul, and I'll drop a link in the description below so you can check it out. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.